Hello, my fellow Purple Raiders, and welcome to Coffee with Tom. I've got my trusty Mount Union Dad mug ready to go, and I am fired up, I'm caffeinated, and ready to talk today with Joy Banish and Deana Allen. Both are Mount Union alums, but they're also part of the National Cabinet of Mount Union Women, and we're celebrating this month Women's History Month. So let's jump right in and start with Joy, if you would want to introduce yourself to your fellow alums and friends out there in space.
Well, thank you very much. Hi, my name is Joy Kunkel Banish. I'm a graduate of Mount Union, 1984, and I'm a lifer, Mount Union person. Pretty much everybody in my family went to Mount. Both my parents, both sides of my grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins, pretty much everybody. So I've been going to Mount Union since I was a kid. My parents would take us to Alumni Day and to football games. And so I just love it. It's really feels like home to me every time I go back to campus. And it's one of my favorite places to be.
That's terrific, Joy. It's so great to have you back with us. I see your home logo in the back behind you. We're going to have to put a little purple dot on that.
Yeah, I actually made that at a Mount Union Women event we had a couple years ago. So
very cool.
Yeah.
And hi, Deana. Welcome back.
Hello. Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
All right. Hey, everyone. My name is Deana Allen. I graduated from Mount back in 2000. And unlike Joy, I was the first in my family to go to college. So there wasn't a whole lot of any legacy, university love. But what I would say is at the university grew to have an awesome, amazing group of friends. And those are the closest people that I'm still friends with today. So the love runs deep.
Fantastic. So, Tell me a little bit, Joy, about the National Cabinet of Mount Union Women. What is it, and what's the mission? What's the vision? What are you doing there?
So Mount Union Women was created in 1933, and it was developed as a group of alumni who wanted to stay connected together and socialize with each other and stay connected to Mount Union, as well as support women students on campus. And the organization's going strong after all these years, and we still have basically the same mission to promote and support education for women. And we do that by raising money for scholarships that we give out each year to students on campus. So it has a long history, a lot of different people involved, all of which are volunteers, alumni and friends of Mount Union.
Fantastic. And Deana, tell me a little bit about why you responded and became a part of this organization.
Absolutely. So for me, my experience kind of started back in school. I was lucky enough to be a recipient of one of the scholarships that was given. After graduating, I moved to Broadview Heights for a year, and then when I moved back to Canton, one evening I got a phone call from somebody. She was an older woman just inviting me to a meeting that was taking place. She said that there would be coffee, tea, and desserts. So I was like, all right, this sounds fun. And at that point, kind of, showed up, met some wonderful individuals. And for me, have really stayed engaged all these years just because of the getting to know people. Like when I'd first, introduced myself and said I didn't have anybody in my family that had went to school before. So it was kind of nice to be able to see just different people, different generations, and kind of how, even though we all experience Mount in different ways, we all shared that same love for it. So still going strong here with it.
Well, that's fantastic. This is our 175th year, and my quick math is 89 years of the National Cabinet of Mount Union Women. So over half the time of the history of the university, you've been giving scholarships to women students and making sure that they have the ability to come here. And it always fascinates me to hear alums talk about that they thought they were the only one who had need of a scholarship. And then you find out over the years that everybody else needed scholarships too. And that it was really a fantastic part of it. So how many scholarships have been awarded through this process? Joy, do you know?
I do. We have pretty good records we've kept over the years, thankfully. And I added it up, and it's 837 scholarships given out over the years. Some years we give more than others. And the scholarships used to be $500 and now they're $2,000. So,
Oh,
but over that period of time, over 837 women have benefited from the generosity of the alumni and women on campus that support them.
well, that's fantastic. 837 scholarships.
Mhm.
There's a whole lot of really wonderful gifts that give back to others and pay it forward and just do so many fantastic things. So that is terrific. So Deana, tell us a little bit about how that really makes you feel to know that you're still part of this after you've graduated and come back. What's it like to give the scholarship? You were telling a little bit about how you found out about getting it, and I like the coffee plug in there, so I'm gonna keep plugging away on my coffee. But how does that feel to be on the other side of it, be the one giving the scholarships?
I mean, for me, it's just super rewarding. I took advantage of all different types of scholarships in order to go to Mount and to, I guess, really use the experience, the knowledge that I've gained to be able to be in a financial position where I can now contribute and kind of help other women along that path. It's really just rewarding. We also kind of our scholarship selection process. We get to read through the applications to see what the students are involved in, the different activities, kind of what their dreams, what their desires are, and it's really invigorating year after year just to kind of see how things are growing, how things are changing, and knowing that the money that we're giving is going to help women continue to make those advancements for themselves, for the future, and to continue supporting the legacy of Mount overall.
So that's great. So you just said about the things that you do on campus. What were the things you did outside the classroom, Deana, that were, one of them that you can tell us about that you're like, that was really cool, and I hope students today get a similar type experience?
Absolutely. The two that pop into my mind, first, I was very involved in my sorority. So it kind of gave me the opportunity, really those leadership skills is where I was able to kind of develop and hone those to kind of, help even in my career today. And then from just learning about your own personal, introspective was the wilderness trip experience with Dr. Kramer.
Now you went out with Dr. Kramer, and he's still around, and we're still have the wilderness trip. In the age of the pandemic, that's actually been a good thing, because going out in the woods is a fairly safe experience. So
absolutely,
doing that social responsibility trip is getting ready to go down there, going down to Louisiana in a few days, and we'll be down there doing service this year. So that's terrific. Yeah. Joy, what did you do when you weren't hitting the books?
I was in theater. I love doing the different shows that we did. I love musicals. I was in choir, a couple different choirs while I was there. I just really enjoyed, being down there and participating in that. It was lots of fun to do, be on stage, in a production, but also behind the scenes and learn how things work with the lighting and the sound and all that. So had a lot of fun doing that.
I hear that from alums all the time. One of my advisees, Justice Sly, was telling me about building the sets. And for those of you that are out on Hulu tonight or whatever, that our own Carrie Coon is starring in The Gilded Age, and she is terrific in that role. So if you haven't, binge watched that one, check out The Gilded Age and see our own student there. So come back now, Joy, for a second to the classroom part of it. Did you have a professor, a mentor, an advisor, somebody who, as part of the academic experience, really stuck out to you?
Yeah, my advisor was Dr. Coleman, and he in the communications department, because I was a communications major. Yeah. And I really appreciate, all of his guidance and advice. And I remember one of my favorite classes, believe it or not, was speech class. Most people hate public speaking, but I really enjoyed it. And that's kind of where I learned that I liked being on stage too and being in the plays. But it has come in handy in my career because I do a lot of public speaking. And he was just a big help to me. I had these lofty dreams. I was going to be some famous TV person, when I graduated. And, he kind of let me know that that would be a lot of hard work and most likely I'd have to move frequently. I was able, through the assistance of the college, to have a terrific internship at a local TV station my senior year, which I learned so much through that experience. And I just am so grateful to have that opportunity to learn, not only in the classroom, but with some real life experience through the internship.
That's fantastic. I had the pleasure of working with Dr. Bill Coleman, and he was in the background. If you're reading our updated history of the university, he was one of the two behind the scenes, adding information in and giving us some of that. And I remember also that Bill was an incredibly early champion of inclusion on campuses. And, here we're talking about the National Cabinet of Mount Union Women, and that being at a university that goes back into the 1800s to 1846, it talks about that women should go to college and have careers. So fabulous choice for a mentor in Dr. Bill Coleman. Now, Deana, as I understand it, you took a class with me. So putting that aside, did anybody else have a, that sort of impact on your life as whatever course that neither of us can remember?
Absolutely. So for me, I did work study and I worked in the admissions office. And so there was an individual there named Jeannie who really just kind of took me under her wing, made sure, followed up with me on how my classes were going, how my roommate experience was. And I worked there for a lot of years, and she just kind of always kept in touch, followed along. And I think for me, it was really recognizing that it didn't necessarily even have to be somebody in the classroom. It was everybody that was on campus really truly cared and made sure that everybody was taken care of. It's just that compassion that was showed for everybody that's really stuck out with me throughout the years.
That's fantastic. I can tell you that the students and the staff and the faculty and the alums, everybody, the last 2 years, we've had that stress test to see how much we could take care of each other. And they have passed with more than flying colors. And I'm hoping we're coming to the end of that part of it. But to see the things where they make sure that each other, that they are okay, that everybody's okay, and that they can focus on working on classes or the late night run somewhere or whatever it might be that they're doing together, athletics, the plays, the musicals, the service projects. The students are doing tons of those still. So that's terrific to see all that going on, and that both of you have had people who made it happen, and that we're built on. Imagine we're really built on the relationships that we have more than we are the buildings and the folklore of the place. So it's great to hear about all that. So if somebody wants to get involved with the National Cabinet of Mount Union Women and be part of all this success, how would they go about doing that? Joy?
Would you want to take it or you want me to?
Deana, I'll let you.
Okay, sounds good. One of the biggest ways to contribute is financially. The main reason that we exist is to continue our goal of supporting education. So we will gladly take your money in a variety of different ways, but mountunionwomen.org, you can just head out to the website. If you're looking to volunteer your time during the concession stands, during the home football games, that is one of the main fundraisers that we have throughout the year. So for individuals that are looking to kind of volunteer time if they don't have funds, we would love to see you out there at a game. And then we do also have some social media accounts, so a Facebook and an Instagram page, so you can follow along to see different activities that we're hosting as well.
That's fantastic. So they can give the gift of treasure, they can give the gift of some time and some talent.
Mm-hmm.
And I know at the games, we will have by the way, playoff games. By the time you see this, they may be over, but our men's basketball team is still playing. So hopefully the popcorn will flow in a happy way this weekend as we get into that. Joy, anything you wanted to add about the experience of being part of the National Cabinet of Mount Union Women and all the opportunities?
I just think it's a wonderful way for us to stay connected to each other. As Deana said, it's like family to me. Mount Union is family, and it's a great way for the alumni and the people that are currently on campus, and even just friends from the community, to be part of Mount Union Women. We get to see each other, socialize, and it's so exciting to be able to give out the scholarships every year. We have so many deserving applicants, and it's really hard to select the ones that will receive the scholarship. But then throughout the year, we try to take the time to get to know the students that are the recipients and socialize with them or invite them to events. They work with us in the concession stand too. And that just is so special for us as older alumni. I'll speak for myself, an older alumni who gets a chance to be with today's students and just see how awesome they are.
Well, that's terrific. And I'm glad that they're already helping to give back in the way that they can. I do know that students write notes to those of us who support scholarships, and that we sometimes get to have luncheons and things, or they tell us on campus, but students consistently talk about how important it is that somebody cares enough to make sure that they can afford and take some of that pressure off of going and getting their degree, and just really enjoy their time on campus working on those other degrees, but also just making the best friends they're ever going to have. And it sounds like both of you had that experience on campus, and you're
Yes.
still doing it.
Absolutely.
Anything else you wanted to give us a shout out to our alums or your friends, or say anything to somebody you've seen or haven't seen who might be watching today about Mount Union and the National Cabinet?
I'll just say hi to the class in 1984 and hope to see you again sometime on campus. I know the last few years it's been a challenge to bring all the alumni together, and hopefully we can do that again sometime soon. I just love coming back to campus and seeing people again. Brings back so many good memories.
Okay, and Deana?
And I would just say to anybody that's listening that happened to receive a scholarship throughout your time at the university, I hope this just kind of, I don't know, bring back a little memory and maybe a thank you just to those that have all come before us to make that possible for us.
Well, that's fantastic. I want you to know that you, both of you, and all of your many friends and fellow Purple Raider alumni, you're welcome. The campus is open. We're as open as we can get. We are looking forward to having visitors and to seeing people and to have the joy of a campus that's full and open. As I said, the students are heading out on spring break, which means they'll be out and about when they get back, as we're in the stretch drive to commencement. Commencement's in May, and we're going to do the best we can to celebrate the newest class of Purple Raider alumni as they come across that stage in May. I want to thank Joy and Deana for being with us. I want to thank our alums and friends for tuning in today. I believe this is our 6th episode already of Coffee with Tom, and it's getting more and more exciting. I can tell by the day. It's just fun to talk to those of you who have been part of the Purple Raider. I go back to '89 for those of you who want to know. So I would be the second most senior faculty member if I hadn't slipped up and left for a while. So that's exciting to me to see everybody coming back. But thank you so much for coming in. Thanks to our alums for watching. Have an absolutely wonderful spring season. Come visit us on campus, and please support the National Cabinet of Mount Union Women as they support our rising young women students who are doing so well. Go Purple Raiders. Have a great day.